the following. If we really must move forward in this direction, extremely important. First and foremost is that the most vital resource for any state or any nation is not the physical resources, it's the people, the human beings. So you deliberately transform your human resources. In Nigeria, we are not investing in the education. Education is the most critical, the most vital. But we seem to be neglecting it. And if we had our way, we should go back to that. Nobody loses.
President Tinubu reaffirms commitment to infrastructure development, inaugurates key Abuja-Lokoja road project. ₦10 trillion Naira revenue target set for customs service as federal government shifts from oil dependency to cut cost. The FCC arrests former NNPC chief financial official and others for alleged $7.2 billion missing oil revenue. Hello and welcome to the late evening news on NTA News 24, coming to you live from Abuja. My name is Frama Panyi, and now the news in full. Now, in a bold stride towards national development, President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed the administration's commitment to prioritizing the provision of vital infrastructural projects across all the zones of the Federation. The President stated this during the inauguration of the 15-kilometer A2 Junction Road along the Abuja-Lokoja Expressway to Pai Community in Kwali Area Council. Onoze Yakubu reports.
By Bola Ahmed Tinubu, DCFR, President Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, on Monday, 23rd of June 2025.
A promise made and now fulfilled for residents of Pai and its neighboring communities. The 15-kilometer road linking the A2 junction to Pai has been completed and delivered on schedule.
In the past, our people had serious challenges transporting their goods to the market. And it has not been funny transporting these goods to the market. But really you can see that everybody is happy.
This road, it doesn't just serve as an infrastructure to FCT, but also as a lifeline with objectives of opening economic opportunities, access to healthcare, access to education, access to farm and market.
FCT Minister Yesen Wike said the government has so far constructed 150 kilometers of roads across satellite towns in an effort to promote inclusive governance in the territory.
For this year's commissioning, Your Excellency, we will commission 10 kilometers of Aguma Palace Road, Radio Road, New Market in Gwagwalada. We have done Yanya Karishi, Dual Carriage Road, 18 kilometers. We are going to commission 7.4 Old Oshafa Road and the reputation of Duse Lower Usma Dam, 7.4 kilometers. Your Excellency, we are going to commission the realization of building of Oshafa War College to Army Checkpoint, 16.4 kilometer road and other and drive. That will be done on 26th of this month, which is Thursday. If you calculate all, and the ongoing roads, and the ones completed within the satellite towns, you've done not less than 150 kilometers of roads.
President Bola Tinubu, who inaugurated the route, described it as both symbolic and strategic. He said the route offers a glimpse of prosperity and opportunity, particularly in boosting the national economy through agriculture and food production.
We will ensure that development is not lopsided but balanced, inclusive, and targets aimed at lifting life. Rural communities such as PAI make important contributions to Nigeria's social and economic fabric, especially in food production and local enterprises. But their potential has been hindered by poor road access, isolation, and neglect for far too long. Today, that narrative is changing.
The president urged local communities to take ownership of the project and ensure it serves as a pathway to development and improved livelihoods. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
And in the agricultural sector, President Bola Tinubu has inaugurated more than 2,000 units of agricultural equipment and implements aimed at enhancing the country's food security. The heavy-duty machinery were deployed under the Nigeria-Belarus partnership. Musa Baba Aliyu reports.
This is the first time in the history of Nigeria that a large number of tractors and other agricultural equipment have been deployed to enhance productivity. This achievement is in fulfillment of President Tinubu's renewed hope for food security. The tractors which were assembled in Abuja were procured under the Nigeria-Belarus mechanization partnership that was formalized in September 2024. President Tinubu stated that the initiative aims to uplift Nigeria's food production capability, increase farmers' output, and create jobs for younger people.
The allocation of this equipment throughout the country will do a lot to give our nations abundant arable land and favorable climate that we have. We must seize the opportunity to achieve complete agricultural independence and food sovereignty. To all stakeholders receiving this equipment, deploy them with maximum efficiency. We will work with you.
The president thanked the Belarus government for its partnership, which facilitated the deployment of the equipment. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, provided a breakdown of the equipment, which include 2,000 high-quality tractors with trailers, plows, harrows, sprayers, and planters, 10 state-of-the-art combined harvesters, 12 fully equipped mobile workshops, 50 bulldozers for agricultural and land development, and over 9,000 complementary implements and spare parts.
This program was designed by this administration to bring over 550,000 hectares of farmland under cultivation, generate more than 2 million metric tons of staple food, create over 16,000 jobs, and directly benefit more than 550,000 farming households across all 6 geopolitical zones.
This particular program is unique because it was packaged with the intention to bring down the level of low mechanization in the country. The 0.27 horsepower per hectare, that is the current mechanization level in this country, will be transformed to almost 2.5 horsepower per hectare at the end of the day.
To maximize impact, the tractors will be distributed through 3 key schemes: direct purchase for individuals and organizations wishing to acquire them outright, a leasing scheme that offers affordable access to mechanization without the full cost of ownership, and a service provider model that establishes tractor service centers in farming communities, enabling smallholder farmers to lease tractors as needed. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to the safety of all residents and to maintaining Abuja's reputation as one of the most secure capitals in the world. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, in a statement, categorically reaffirmed that Abuja remains safe for citizens, residents, and visitors alike. He said the federal government of Nigeria has taken note of the latest security advisory issued by the Embassy of the United States, restricting its staff and their families from non-official travel to military sites or other government facilities in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The government, he added, recognizes and respects the right of foreign missions, including the U.S. Embassy, to issue travel advisories to their citizens, but the current security architecture in Abuja has not only been proactive, but has also recorded significant successes in detecting, preventing, and neutralizing threats. The U.S. advisory, the minister said, is based on general global development and does not reflect any imminent or specific threat within the FCT. He, however, made it clear to all diplomatic missions, investors, development partners, and the general public that there is no cause for alarm, as security and intelligence agencies are monitoring development across the country and are fully prepared to respond decisively to any threat. Minister Idris encouraged citizens to conduct their lawful activities without fear, while also remaining vigilant and reporting any suspicious activity to the relevant authorities. The Joint Services in Benue State has announced the arrest of suspects linked to the recent attack in Yelwata area of the state, where several persons were killed. The Commissioner of Police in Benue State, Ifeanyi Emenari, announced the arrest at a press briefing at the Government House, Makurdi. Blessing Omeche Ebute has details.
The Commissioner of Police Benue State, Ifeanyi Emenari, while briefing journalists after the joint security meeting, retraced commitment of the police and other security agencies to tackle terrorism and criminal activities across the state. CP Emenari assured citizens that both urban centers and remote communities are receiving priority attention in the ongoing security operations. On the June 13th Yelwata attack that claimed innocent lives and sparked widespread condemnation, CP Emenari confirmed that a number of suspects linked to the incident have been apprehended. He promised that their identities will be disclosed at the appropriate time.
We can assure you that a number of the suspects who committed the heinous act are with police. And with in due course, we will make a press release on that, and you will know them. But you can assure you that we have arrested a number of them, and we are still on the trail of some of them. About for the motivation of the government, I can assure you that we work hand in hand with the state governor.
On measures to safeguard internally displaced persons, CP Emenari stated that IDP camps surrounding villages and farms are being given robust security coverage. He commended Governor Alia for his sustained effort and readiness to provide additional resources to strengthen peace-building efforts. He further noted that the deployment of special task force teams and mobile police squads have been expanded to ensure no part of the state is left vulnerable. He warned against any form of mob action or jungle justice, urging citizens to report suspected individuals to the nearest police formation for proper investigation. In Makurdi, Blessing Omeche Ebute, NTA News.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, has condemned the suicide bombing in Konduga, Borno State, and another explosion in Kano over the weekend, which led to loss of lives. Speaker Abbas, in a statement, decried the rising spate of attacks and deaths from different incidents around the country in recent times, while charging security and intelligence agencies to be on the alert at all times. The Speaker also urged relevant humanitarian agencies to cater for the victims and their families while praying for the repose of the souls of the deceased. And now that Nigeria is attracting positive interest from investors and the rest of the global community, we must do whatever we can do to promote the image of the country, starting with ending the surge of violence in some parts of the country. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu stated this while reacting to the violent attacks in Benue and Plateau states on the margins of the 2025 second quarter high-level meeting with State Governor's wife and the Renewed Hope Initiative state coordinators in her office. The State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports.
It is the second year of Renewed Hope Initiative's interventionist program, and State Governor's wives, enablers of the initiative's activities, again converged on the office of the First Lady for their quarterly meeting, this time for a mid-term assessment.
Educating Linda, which is
from taking stock of RHI interventions in all its 5 focal areas to getting feedback on its collaboration and advocacy in health, agriculture, and economic empowerment, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu outlined other programs which seek to empower women and children in the country.
For TET Fund and RHI collaboration, construction ongoing for ICT experience centers in Taraba, Kaduna, Kwara, Ekiti, Anambra, and Cross River.
With our eyes set on getting communities involved in protecting the environment, the First Lady announced a new competition tagged RHI Green Nigeria Challenge that will not only roll back desert encroachment, but also tackle indiscriminate disposal of plastic waste.
We have the household category, which is tree planting, target 2 years or less, and is households in the northern Nigeria. And prize money, we peg it to 10 million. Number 2 is the community. Green Transformation Challenge, which is transformation of degraded community areas into green parks, garden, and eco spaces. State tree planting project, Eco Rice Challenge, that's what it is called, for each state, and that's for 1 year. This is open to all Nigerians across 36 states and FCT.
At present, the nation enjoys a fresh breath of air in the international community, and so cannot afford to be dragged back by insecurity.
This is evil, very, very evil. We women have to pray, because I don't know those who are so bloodthirsty. This shouldn't be happening, but work is going to keep going. Well, we're going to work, and we've just started working.
As the journey into the next 2 years begins for RHI, the First Lady says more can be achieved given the right support and resources.
I'm to go to the Senate. I'm going to do this program like we do zonal intervention programs. Even if it is 500 million they want to give us, if it is 1 billion, then we're going to use it for this, and then we can be accountable. And I think, we can do that. And it should be with the First Lady who wants to work. She shouldn't be restricted.
2 years on, we've done all these things in the States. We've helped the elderly, the disabled, women farmers. We've done the Every Home a Garden, so many interventions.
The next quarterly meeting holds in September this year. In the State House, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
You're watching the news on NTA News 24. We'll take a short break now. We will return with more news.
His Excellency Engineer Abdullahi A. Sule and the entire good people of Nasarawa State heartily welcome President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR to Nigeria's home of solid minerals, where Mr. President will commission the ultra-modern State Secretariat, distribute operational vehicles to security personnel, and solar keke tricycles to young entrepreneurs. President Tinubu will also commission the superior Lafia flyover and underpass, cut the ribbon to Shandam Road, and hold a town hall meeting with stakeholders to be crowned royal homage on the Emir of Lafia, Justice Sidi Bagay Mohammed I. Wednesday, the 25th of June 2025 is the date. History beckons as Nasarawa State is set to welcome Mr. President.
Thanks for staying tuned. Nigeria is hosting 50 African countries at the 4th African Union MSME Forum aimed at addressing challenges affecting small businesses, particularly affordable financing, enhancing digital transformation, and improving market access. Vice President Kashim Shettima at the event called for intra-African trade and supported the growth of small businesses on the continent. SETA's correspondent Abdurrahman Jabrila reports.
Resilient MSMEs through digital innovation, market access and affordable financing for Africa is the theme of the 4th Africa Union MSME Forum. It is an opportunity to empower micro, small and medium enterprises, develop intra-African value chains and strengthen policies on MSME development.
Over the next 2 days, let us delve into the heart of these issues, not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for collective action and innovation.
Part of the things we hope to be seeing in the next 3 days is deliberating as Africans on how we can sustain this tempo.
Each of these gatherings has provided capacity building opportunities for MSMEs showcase their business and access to new markets in the ACFTA and the rest of the world. During the 3rd MSME Forum, we launched the inaugural Enterprise Africa Network Fellowship Program with 56 selected business from over 30 African nationalities, and some of them are exhibiting their products here today. Over the last few months, their growth and progress have been remarkable, with significant impact in sustainable agriculture, manufacturing, digital transformation, mineral resource value addition, and creative industries.
This is also expected to expose key players and other stakeholders to leverage the platform provided by the forum to build new networks for investment and market access across Africa and beyond.
That is why we must not only build local infrastructure for entrepreneurial expansion, but must also entrench cross-border cooperation. Our destinies, after all, are bound together. Still, we are not naive about the obstacles that confront our MSMEs. Limited access to affordable finance remains a recurring nightmare. It costs our continent not just money, it costs us momentum. The African Union's recent launch of the Akili AI platform in partnership with Meta and Deloitte is a bold step in the right direction. It is a sign that we are not just watching the world change, we are part of the change.
The African Trade Observatory is a very useful digital.
Other stakeholders at the forum commended Nigeria's significant milestone in hosting the event, describing it as one way of showcasing to the world that Nigeria is ready to do business, pledging commitment and support of their organizations toward a successful forum. From the State House, Abdurrahman Jabrila, NTA News.
And Senate has tasked the Nigeria Customs Service to work towards achieving collection of 10 trillion naira revenue in 2025. This amount represents 30% increase in the year's target of 6.5 trillion naira. National Assembly correspondent Lamieli reports that this and other issues dominated the financial performance assessment engagement between management of the service and the oversighting committees in the Senate and House of Representatives.
The Nigeria Customs Service surpassed its revenue target in 2024 as it generated 6.1 trillion naira, representing a surplus of 10% on the initial 5.1 trillion naira target. This, the Senate Committee on Customs says, is commendable and noted that the tax reforms being put in place will give the service more leverage.
You have to double your efforts. You must get us nothing less than 10 trillion by the end of this financial year. Customs is one of the pivotal agencies that is responsible for driving of revenue generation in this country. You need to brace up in terms of your surveillance. And then with respect to illicit drugs too, you also need to ensure that as much as possible you should be on top of your game.
The lawmakers, however, took a swipe as the suspension of the implementation of the 4% free on board FOB charges, which according to the customs officials was based on a directive from the Ministry of Finance.
Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. It's not. Ignorantia juris non excusat. So whatever it is, nobody, no authority in Nigeria is above the law. Once it is law, you are duty bound to implement it.
The Senate committee is to engage the Finance Ministry on the issue. At similar performance assessment session with the House Committee on Customs, Chairman of the committee asked the service to stop collection of 1% comprehensive import supervision scheme levy, which it says is not backed by law.
Even the 7% cost of collection you are taking is equally illegal. It's an executive fiat of the military. We'll give you the opportunity of these few days. Any attempt to try to collect the CISS on 1st of July, you will face the wrath of the law. Go back to what the law says you should do in section 18(1)(a).
Throughout last year, we did not receive anything under 1% CISS.
The committee advised the Nigeria Customs to ensure that all its activities align with statutory provisions. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arrested the former Chief Financial Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC Limited, Umar Ajia Isa. Umar Ajia Isa was arrested in connection with alleged $7.2 billion fraud linked with the rehabilitation of the Kaduna, Warri, and Port Harcourt refineries. A reliable source within the commission equally confirmed that the former managing director of Warri Refinery, Jimo Olasukomi, is also in the custody of the commission. Ajia, as CFO, was in charge of release of funds for the turnaround maintenance of the 3 refineries, and all the key officials involved in the maintenance and other key projects are being investigated for alleged abuse of office, corruption, diversion of funds, and kickbacks from contractors. Other officials allegedly involved are Tunde Bakare, MD Warri Refinery, Ahmed Adamudiko, former MD Port Harcourt Refinery, and Ibrahim Mondi Onoja, former MD Port Harcourt Refinery. And that's the news at this time. Thank you for being a part of it. I am Frama Panyi. Have a good night.